The 25 most famous drawings in world history. Number 25. Study of a Tiger. Eugene Delacroix. Created in the 1820s, Eugene Delacroix's Study of a Tiger is a work that encapsulates the Romantic artist's passion for exoticism and untamed nature. Delacroix, a central figure in French Romanticism, was known for his fascination with Oriental themes and animal life, influenced by travels to Morocco and the exotic collections circulating in Europe at the time. In this drawing, Delacroix employs energetic and fluid strokes combined with meticulous attention to the tiger's anatomy. His ability to merge detailed realism with a sense of movement and vitality is evident. The tiger, depicted with tense muscles and a piercing gaze, symbolizes both the wild beauty and latent danger of nature. The choice of the tiger as a subject is no coincidence. It reflects European society's growing interest in the exotic and unknown, aligning with Romantic ideals of exploring intense emotions and dramatic themes. Delacroix sought to transcend conventional representations, capturing the untamed spirit and primordial strength of nature through his art. Study of a Tiger is significant not only for its technical skill but also for its impact on the development of Romanticism in European art. This preparatory study laid the groundwork for his later, more elaborate and emotive works, such as The Death of Sardanapalus and Liberty Leading the People. Through these initial explorations, Delacroix set new standards in the depiction of emotion and energy, leaving a lasting legacy in art history. Number 24. Study of a Male Head. Michelangelo. The Study of a Male Head is one of many preparatory drawings created by Michelangelo Buonarroti during the Italian Renaissance in the 16th century. This study exemplifies Michelangelo's mastery in representing the human figure and his deep understanding of anatomy, proportion, and emotional expression. The drawing presents the head of a man with strong features and an intense gaze, possibly a study for one of his monumental sculptures or iconic frescoes, such as the Sistine Chapel ceiling or The Last Judgment. Using red chalk or charcoal, Michelangelo achieves soft and detailed modeling, bringing the figure to life through skillful handling of light and shadow. His meticulous attention to facial muscles, bone structure, and subtle expressions reflects his dedication to anatomical precision, partly acquired through the dissection of cadavers, an unusual but crucial practice for the most innovative artists of his time. This study is not only a demonstration of technical skill but also an exploration of human psychology. The subject's expression suggests a mixture of strength, determination, and perhaps melancholy or contemplation, qualities Michelangelo incorporated to add depth and humanity to his works. His focus on capturing the soul and internal emotions of his figures set new standards in portraiture and sculpture. Michelangelo's drawings, like the Study of a Male Head, are invaluable for their contribution to the development of drawing as an art form and for offering an intimate glimpse into the master's creative process. These works allow viewers to appreciate the meticulous approach and relentless pursuit of perfection that characterize Michelangelo's artistic legacy, cementing his place as one of the undisputed geniuses of the Renaissance. Number 23. Studies of Movement. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, the quintessential Renaissance man, devoted much of his life to studying movement in all its forms. His Studies of Movement encompass an extensive series of drawings and notes that explore how humans and animals move, as well as natural phenomena like water, air, and innovative machines conceived by him. In these studies, Leonardo combines his extraordinary artistic skill with a deeply inquisitive scientific mind. He uses detailed drawings and meticulous diagrams to break down movement into its basic components, analyzing muscular mechanics, body dynamics, and the physical laws governing them. His depictions of galloping horses, birds in flight, and human figures in various poses demonstrate an advanced understanding of anatomy and the physics of motion, far ahead of his time. Leonardo also intensely studied the flow of water and air, conducting experiments and observations that he recorded in his notebooks. He analyzed currents, whirlpools, and turbulence, seeking patterns and principles applicable to both engineering and nature's understanding. These studies not only influenced his paintings and sculptures, giving them unparalleled realism and dynamism, but also contributed valuable insights into the emerging fields of hydrodynamics and aerodynamics. Leonardo da Vinci's studies of movement testify to his multidisciplinary approach and tireless pursuit of universal knowledge. His ability to fuse art and science not only advanced the understanding of movement but also established a lasting legacy that continues to inspire artists, scientists, and engineers alike. Through his notebooks and drawings, Leonardo invites us to view the world with curious eyes and discover the beauty in the complexity of movement that surrounds us. Number 22. Study for Guernica. Pablo Picasso. In 1937, Pablo Picasso created Guernica, one of his most iconic and powerful works, in response to the brutal bombing of the Basque city of Guernica during the Spanish Civil War. Before completing this monumental painting, Picasso made numerous preparatory studies and sketches that are essential to understanding the development, complexity, and emotional intensity of the final work. The studies for Guernica reveal Picasso's meticulous creative process, showing how key elements of the composition evolved through his artistic exploration. In these drawings, figures such as the bull, the wounded horse, the woman with the dead child, and other characters symbolizing the horror, anguish, and devastation of war can be seen. Picasso experiments with different postures, expressions, and spatial relationships, searching for the most impactful and visceral way to convey his anti-war message. Through these studies, we see how Picasso simplifies and distorts forms to intensify emotion and visual impact. His cubist and expressionist style allows him to fragment and recompose reality, reflecting the chaos and destruction caused by conflict. The sketches also show his experimentation with the monochromatic palette of grays, blacks, and whites, which gives the final work a somber and universal atmosphere. The studies for Guernica are valuable not only for their artistic quality but also for their profound historical and emotional significance. They provide an intimate view of Picasso's engagement with the political and social situation of his time and his fervent desire to use art as a medium of protest, denunciation, and awareness. These studies allow us to understand how, through art, Picasso channeled his outrage and pain to create a work that has become a universal symbol against war and oppression. Number 21. Study for the Last Supper. Leonardo da Vinci. Before creating The Last Supper, one of the world's most influential and recognized masterpieces, located in the convent of Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan, Leonardo da Vinci made a series of preparatory studies essential to the final composition. These drawings include detailed sketches of the figures of Jesus and the apostles, as well as exhaustive studies of facial expressions, gestures, and spatial arrangement. In the studies for the Last Supper, Leonardo focuses on capturing the individual reaction of each apostle to Jesus' shocking revelation that one of them would betray him. The sketches show a rich variety of emotions: astonishment, doubt, indignation, fear, and sorrow. Leonardo uses his profound knowledge of anatomy, psychology, and group dynamics to realistically and movingly reflect these emotions, giving each character a unique identity and personality. In addition to the human figures, Leonardo also experiments with perspective and lighting in these studies. He seeks to create a balanced and harmonious composition that guides the viewer's gaze toward the center, where Jesus is located, while maintaining a sense of movement and dramatic tension in the interaction between the characters. His innovative use of linear and aerial perspective contributes to the depth and realism of the scene. These studies are essential to understanding Leonardo's meticulous process and unwavering commitment to artistic perfection. They allow us to appreciate how every detail was carefully planned and considered, from the placement of the plates on the table to the positioning of the apostles' hands and gazes, to achieve a work that has endured as an unparalleled milestone in art history. Through these sketches, Leonardo not only creates a visual representation but also tells a story filled with spiritual and human significance, capturing a crucial moment with unprecedented emotional depth. Number 20. Study of a Hand. Michelangelo. Created in the 16th century, Michelangelo Buonarroti's Study of a Hand is a preparatory drawing that reflects the artist's obsession with anatomical perfection and his unparalleled ability to capture the essence of the human form. This study, possibly executed in red chalk or charcoal, shows a hand in meticulous detail, evidencing Michelangelo's deep understanding of bone structure, muscle dynamics, and movement. The hand, perhaps belonging to one of the figures from his most monumental projects, such as the frescoes of the Sistine Chapel or the sculptures of the tomb of Julius II, is depicted with astonishing realism. The prominent veins, tense tendons, and carefully delineated joints create an image that seems almost three-dimensional and alive. The masterful use of chiaroscuro provides volume and depth to the drawing, demonstrating the artist's technical mastery and keen eye. This study is not merely a technical exercise but also an exploration of expression and movement. Michelangelo understood that hands could convey a wide range of emotions and narratives on their own. Through this drawing, one can feel tension, strength, or delicacy, depending on the position and gesture represented. The hand might be holding an object, pointing, or in a gesture of blessing, adding layers of meaning to the study. Michelangelo's drawings, like this Study of a Hand, are fundamental to understanding his meticulous creative process and his relentless pursuit of artistic excellence. They reveal how the artist dedicated considerable time and effort to studying each part of the human body, aspiring to an idealized representation that fused classical beauty with unprecedented realism. These works continue to be studied and admired, influencing generations of artists and cementing Michelangelo's legacy as one of the greatest masters of universal art. Number 19. Studies of Figures in Motion. Edward Muybridge. In the 1880s, Edward Muybridge revolutionized the understanding of motion and laid the groundwork for cinema and animation through his Studies of Figures in Motion. Using photography as a medium, Muybridge developed an innovative series of photographic sequences that captured the movement of humans and animals in successive phases, breaking down actions that the human eye could not perceive in detail. One of his most famous projects is Animal Locomotion, where he employed a complex system of multiple cameras firing in quick succession to photograph galloping horses, people walking, running, or performing various physical activities. These studies provided invaluable information about the mechanics of movement, impacting not only art but also fields such as biomechanics, physiology, and medicine. Muybridge's Studies of Figures in Motion were pioneering in chronophotography and revolutionized how time and movement were understood and represented. Artists and scientists of the time were fascinated by his work, as it offered a new perspective on the body and motion, allowing a detailed analysis of each phase of action. In addition to their scientific value, Muybridge's images possess a unique aesthetic quality. The figures, often photographed against gridded backgrounds to measure displacement, acquire an almost sculptural dimension. His work explores the interaction between technology and art, showing how technical innovation can expand the limits of human perception and open new creative possibilities. The legacy of Edward Muybridge is vast and enduring. His Studies of Figures in Motion not only transformed photography and visual art but also paved the way for the development of cinema, animation, and modern visual effects. His ability to capture and freeze movement has left an indelible mark on how we see and understand the world in motion. Number 18. Study of a horse. Théodore Gericault. Théodore Gericault, one of the precursors of French Romanticism, dedicated much of his career to studying horses, animals that for him symbolized strength, nobility, and unbridled passion. His Study of a Horse, created in the early 19th century, is a work that demonstrates his fascination with equine anatomy and his exceptional ability to capture the animal's dynamism and vitality. In this drawing or painting, Gericault depicts the horse with impressive realism, paying meticulous attention to muscular details, tension in the limbs, and the texture of the coat. He uses bold contrasts of light and shadow to give volume and depth, making the animal appear almost alive and ready to move. The horse's posture, whether in full motion or in a tense and alert pose, conveys energy, power, and a sense of imminent action. Gericault's interest in horses is also reflected in his more famous works, such as The Race of the Riderless Horses and The Charging Chasseur. His preparatory studies were essential to achieving the anatomical precision and emotional impact that characterize his work. Through these works, Gericault sought to express intense emotions and capture moments of tension and drama, aligning with the romantic ideals of the time. The Study of a Horse is more than a technical exercise. It is a deep exploration of the character and spirit of the animal. Gericault saw in horses a representation of the most intense human emotions and used them as a vehicle to express deeper themes such as freedom, rebellion, and the complex relationship between man and nature. His ability to convey these ideas through his art has left a lasting legacy, influencing later artists and solidifying his place in art history. Number 17. Study of a Young Woman. Leonardo da Vinci. The Study of a Young Woman is one of Leonardo da Vinci's most charming and delicate drawings, likely created in the late 15th century. This study captures the face of a young woman with a serene and contemplative expression, reflecting Leonardo's interest in idealized beauty and the complexity of human emotions. Using techniques like sfumato, Leonardo creates soft transitions between light and shadow, giving the face an ethereal and almost intangible appearance. The woman's eyes, slightly tilted, and her subtle smile evoke a sense of mystery and psychological depth, characteristics also seen in his masterpiece, the Mona Lisa. This drawing may have been a preparatory study for a larger painting or simply a personal exploration by the artist. Leonardo was fascinated by physiognomy and how facial expressions could reflect a person's soul and character. His attention to detail, from the strands of hair to the shadows under the eyes, demonstrates his pursuit of artistic perfection and his understanding of human anatomy. The Study of a Young Woman is appreciated not only for its aesthetic beauty but also for what it reveals about Leonardo's creative process. The work has inspired countless artists and continues to be an example of the pursuit of perfection and ideal beauty in Renaissance art. Through this drawing, Leonardo invites us to contemplate the depth and complexity of the human spirit, capturing an essence that transcends time. Number 16. Anatomical Studies. Andreas Vesalius. Andreas Vesalius, a 16th century Flemish physician and anatomist, is renowned for his monumental work, De Humani Corporis Fabrica, on the fabric of the human body, published in 1543. His anatomical studies represent a landmark in the history of medicine and art, combining detailed illustrations with scientific texts that revolutionized the understanding of the human body. The illustrations, created by artists under Vesalius's direction, show precise dissections of bones, muscles, organs, and bodily systems. These images are not only scientifically accurate but also artistically sophisticated, presenting the figures in classical poses and architectural settings that fuse medical knowledge with Renaissance aesthetics. Each plate is a work of art in itself, reflecting the harmony between form and function. Vesalius challenged the traditional teachings based on Galen, which had prevailed for over 1,000 years, by basing his studies on direct observations of human dissections. His anatomical studies corrected numerous errors and established new standards for modern anatomy. His empirical and rigorous approach laid the foundation for contemporary medical science. Vesalius's influence extended beyond medicine. His works inspired artists and scientists, promoting an interdisciplinary approach that valued direct observation and empirical evidence. The anatomical studies are a testament to how the collaboration between art and science can lead to significant advances in human knowledge. Through his work, Vesalius not only transformed anatomy but also contributed to the humanistic spirit of the Renaissance, where exploration and understanding of the world were of paramount importance. Number 15. Studies of Feet. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci's Studies of Feet are a series of drawings that demonstrate his meticulous dedication to understanding every aspect of human anatomy. Created in the late 15th and early 16th centuries, these studies show feet in various positions and angles, exploring the bone structure, muscles, and how they interact with the ground. Leonardo applied the same scientific rigor to these studies as he did to his other anatomical investigations. He observed how the bones of the foot bear the body's weight and how the muscles and tendons allow movement and balance. His detailed drawings include cross-sections, views from different perspectives, and explanatory notes, reflecting his method of combining illustration and writing to deepen his understanding. These studies were essential for his artistic projects, allowing him to represent human figures with unprecedented realism and dynamism. By accurately capturing the position and movement of the feet, Leonardo could imbue his paintings and sculptures with life and naturalism, as seen in works like The Last Supper and The Virgin of the Rocks. Beyond their practical utility, the studies of feet are works of art in themselves. They show Leonardo's aesthetic sensitivity and his ability to find beauty in details others might overlook. These drawings continue to inspire artists and anatomists, evidencing the timelessness of his genius and his contribution to the union of art and science. Number 14. Study for the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo. Before embarking on the monumental task of painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel between 1508 and 1512, Michelangelo made numerous preparatory studies that were essential to the project's success. The studies for the Sistine Chapel include drawings of individual figures, complex compositions, and architectural details that reveal the artist's creative process and meticulous approach. These drawings range from quick sketches to detailed studies of figures such as the prophets, Sibyls, and scenes from Genesis. Michelangelo explored bold postures, anatomical proportions, and the emotional expressions of his characters, seeking to convey strength, movement, and dynamism. His deep knowledge of human anatomy allowed him to represent bodies in twisted and dramatic poses, challenging the artistic conventions of his time. One of the most impressive aspects of these studies is how Michelangelo conceived the integration of multiple figures and scenes in a specific architectural space. He worked on perspective and scale to ensure that the images had the desired impact when viewed from the chapel floor, taking into account the curvature of the ceiling and the viewer's distance. The studies for the Sistine Chapel are essential to understanding the magnitude and innovation of this project. They show the combination of art, science, and spirituality that characterizes Michelangelo's work and offer invaluable insight into how one of the greatest masterpieces of the Renaissance came into being. Through these drawings, we can appreciate the dedication and genius that led to the creation of an artistic legacy that continues to inspire admiration centuries later. Number 13. Study of a horse in motion. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci had a particular fascination with horses and their movement, as evidenced in his Study of a Horse in Motion. This drawing, created in the late 15th century, is part of a series of studies related to an ambitious project, a monumental equestrian statue in honor of Francesco Sforza, which was never completed. In this study, Leonardo analyzes the horse's anatomy in detail, capturing the muscles, tendons, and bone structure that enable its movement. He uses fluid and precise lines to show the animal in different poses, possibly trotting or galloping. His goal was to understand how to realistically and dynamically represent movement in a sculpture, challenging the technical limitations of the time. Leonardo's studies go beyond surface observation. They include calculations and theories about balance and the mechanics of movement. His scientific and artistic approach merges to create drawings that are both beautiful and informative. His attention to detail and ability to capture the essence of motion have made these studies considered masterpieces in their own right. Although the statue was never realized, the Studies of a Horse in Motion are a testament to Leonardo's genius and his contribution to understanding the art and science of movement. These works have influenced later artists and sculptors and continue to be admired and studied, highlighting Leonardo's relentless pursuit of understanding and representing the world around him. Number 12. Study of a woman's head. Leonardo da Vinci. The Study of a Woman's Head, also known as La Scapigliata, is a work created by Leonardo da Vinci around 1508. This drawing, executed in mixed technique on board, presents the face of a young woman with loose, disheveled hair and is a sublime example of Leonardo's ability to capture human beauty and expression. The woman is depicted with a contemplative and serene expression, her eyes half closed and a slight smile reminiscent of the enigmatic Mona Lisa. The treatment of the hair, with soft and wavy strands, adds movement and life to the portrait. Leonardo uses techniques like sfumato to create delicate transitions between light and shadow, giving the face a sense of depth and realism. This study reflects Leonardo's interest in psychology and emotions, seeking to represent not only the external appearance but also the soul of his subjects. The lack of detail in the background and clothing focuses all attention on the face, highlighting his mastery of portraiture and his ability to convey an almost tangible presence. The Study of a Woman's Head is appreciated for its sensitivity and as a window into Leonardo's artistic process. The work has inspired countless artists and continues to be an example of the pursuit of perfection and ideal beauty in Renaissance art. Through this drawing, Leonardo invites us to contemplate the depth and complexity of the human experience, capturing an essence that transcends time. Number 11. Study for the School of Athens. Raphael. The School of Athens is one of Raphael Sanzio's most famous frescoes, located in the Vatican stands and painted between 1509 and 1511. Before its completion, Raphael created numerous preparatory studies that were crucial for the final composition. These drawings include sketches of individual figures, interacting groups, and the monumental architecture that frames the scene. In the Studies for the School of Athens, Raphael explores the representation of philosophers and scientists from classical antiquity, such as Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, and Pythagoras. He works on the postures, gestures, and expressions of each character, seeking to reflect their personalities and intellectual contributions. The interaction between the figures creates a visual narrative that celebrates knowledge and the exchange of ideas. Additionally, Raphael experiments with spatial arrangement and perspective, using advanced techniques to create a harmonious and balanced composition. The grand architecture, inspired by classical style, not only serves as a backdrop but also reinforces the central theme of the pursuit of knowledge and reason. These studies reveal the influence of Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo on Raphael's work, as well as his ability to synthesize different styles and concepts into a coherent and original work. The attention to detail and precision in the preparatory drawings demonstrate his commitment to artistic excellence and his ability to plan complex compositions. The studies for the School of Athens are essential to understanding how Raphael succeeded in creating a work that is not only visually impressive but also rich in meaning and symbolism. The final painting is a tribute to the humanist thought of the Renaissance, and the preparatory studies allow us to appreciate the intellectual and creative journey that led to its realization. Number 10. Study of a Hand. Albrecht Dürer. Albrecht Dürer, a German artist of the Renaissance, is known for his exceptional skill in drawing and engraving. His study of a hand, likely created in the late 15th or early 16th century, is a demonstration of his meticulousness and attention to detail, reflecting his deep interest in the study of the human body and nature. The drawing shows a hand in a resting position or possibly in a significant gesture. Dürer uses fine lines and careful shading to represent the texture of the skin, veins, and joints. The anatomical precision is remarkable, evidencing his dedication to direct observation and faithful representation of reality. This study may have been part of preparations for a larger painting or simply an exercise in observation and representation. Dürer was one of the first artists in Europe to adopt the methods and knowledge of the Italian Renaissance, integrating them with his own German artistic tradition and contributing to the dissemination of new ideas in Northern Europe. The study of a hand is appreciated for its clarity and realism and for how it encapsulates Dürer's dedication to technical perfection. His drawings have influenced generations of artists and remain considered outstanding examples of mastery in the art of drawing. The work reflects the importance of detailed observation and constant study in achieving artistic excellence. Number 9. Study for the creation of Adam. Michelangelo. Before painting The Creation of Adam on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, Michelangelo made several preparatory studies that are essential to understanding this iconic work. These drawings include studies of the figures of Adam and God, exploring their poses, proportions, and the interaction between them. In the studies for the creation of Adam, Michelangelo focuses on capturing Adam's perfect anatomy, representing him as the embodiment of human beauty and strength. The sketches show different positions of the body and the extended arm, seeking the exact gesture that would convey the imminent spark of life. The tension in the muscles and the relaxation in other parts of the body create a balance that reflects the duality between potential and passivity. For the figure of God, Michelangelo experiments with drapery and dynamic movement, surrounded by angels and wrapped in fabrics that add majesty and power to the image. The almost tactile connection between God's and Adam's fingers is the focal point, and the studies reveal how the artist refined this detail to maximize its emotional and symbolic impact. These studies reflect Michelangelo's genius in representing the human body and his ability to infuse profound meaning through composition and gesture. The final work is one of the most recognized images in art history, and the preparatory studies allow us to appreciate the process that led to its creation, evidencing the combination of technical skill, imagination, and spiritual depth. Number 8. Studies of Heads. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci dedicated much of his career to studying facial expressions and the individual characteristics of people. His studies of heads are a series of drawings that explore the diversity of human features, from young and beautiful faces to old and time-worn ones. These drawings show Leonardo's ability to capture the essence of his subjects using soft lines and precise shading. He was interested in how emotions and character are reflected in the face, and his studies include a variety of expressions, from laughter to anger or contemplation. He often exaggerated certain features to explore the relationship between physical appearance and personality. Leonardo also applied principles of proportion and harmony in his studies, seeking to understand the mathematics behind beauty and facial symmetry. Some of these drawings may have been preparatory for paintings, while others were part of his ongoing research on anatomy and physiognomy, fields in which he made significant contributions. The studies of heads are valuable for their psychological depth and impeccable technique. They reflect the unique combination of art and science in Leonardo's work and continue to be admired for their contribution to portraiture and the representation of the human condition. Through these studies, Leonardo shows us how every face tells a story and how art can be a window to the soul. Number 7. Study of an Apostle's Head. Raphael. The Study of an Apostle's Head is one of Raphael Sanzio's preparatory drawings for his painting, The Last Supper, in the monastery of Santa Maria della Pace in Rome. Created in the 16th century, this study shows Raphael's dedication to capturing the expressions and individual characteristics of each character in his religious compositions. The drawing presents the head of an apostle with an intense expression, possibly reflecting astonishment, doubt, or deep devotion. Raphael uses delicate strokes and subtle shading to give volume and life to the face. The attention to detail in the eyes, mouth, and skin folds demonstrates his ability to convey complex emotions and his commitment to realistic representation. These studies were essential for Raphael, allowing him to experiment with different expressions and angles before committing to the final painting. His methodical approach and ability to combine technique and sensitivity have made his works timeless. Through these drawings, Raphael was able to infuse humanity and empathy into his figures, bringing them closer to the viewer. The Study of an Apostle's Head is appreciated for its artistic quality and for offering a glimpse into the creative process of one of the masters of the Renaissance. The work reflects Raphael's emphasis on individuality and emotional depth in his subjects, contributing to the richness and realism of his paintings and leaving a lasting legacy in art history. Number 6. Study for David. Michelangelo. Before sculpting the colossal David, Michelangelo made several preparatory studies and maquettes that were essential for this monumental project. The Study for David includes drawings and small sculptures that explored the posture, anatomy, and expression of the young biblical hero. In these studies, Michelangelo focused on capturing the tension and potential movement in David's figure. Depicted before his confrontation with Goliath, David was meant to convey courage, concentration, and the ideal beauty of the human body. The drawings show muscular details, the position of the limbs, and the tilt of the head, reflecting a balance between serenity and alertness. Michelangelo applied his deep knowledge of anatomy to achieve a realistic and powerful representation. The studies also reflect his ability to work on a large scale, as the final sculpture measures over 5 meters in height and required careful planning to carve a block of marble that had been discarded by other artists. The Study for David is fundamental to understanding how Michelangelo transformed an imperfect block of marble into one of the most emblematic masterpieces of the Renaissance. The preparatory studies evidence his genius and dedication to achieving artistic perfection, combining technique, creativity, and a deep understanding of human psychology. Number 5. Study of a Hand. Leonardo da Vinci. This Study of a Hand is one of Leonardo da Vinci's numerous drawings that show his obsession with human anatomy and his desire to capture movement and expression in every detail. Created in the 15th century, the drawing presents a hand in an elegant position, possibly holding an object or in a specific gesture. Leonardo uses delicate lines and shading to give volume and realism to the hand. His knowledge of bone and muscle structure is reflected in the precision with which he represents tendons, joints, and the texture of the skin. This study may have been preparatory for a painting like The Virgin of the Rocks or The Last Supper, where hands play a crucial role in the visual narrative. Beyond its technical value, the drawing shows how Leonardo viewed the human body as a work of art in itself. He was interested in how hands can communicate emotions and narratives, and this study is an example of his ability to infuse life into his representations. The hand's elegance and naturalness reflect his pursuit of ideal beauty and harmony. The study of a hand is a valuable piece that demonstrates the combination of art and science in Leonardo's work and continues to be admired for its beauty and precision. Through this and other studies, Leonardo laid the foundation for future artistic and scientific explorations of the human body. Number 4. Study of a horse. Edgar Degas. Edgar Degas, a 19th-century French artist associated with Impressionism, had a particular interest in capturing movement and everyday life. His study of a horse is part of a series of works that explore the world of horse racing and the elegance of these animals in motion. In this study, Degas depicts the horse with dynamic and loose lines, capturing the energy and flow of movement. He uses pastels, charcoal, or watercolors to create textures and nuances that add depth and vitality to the image. He often includes jockeys or elements of the environment to contextualize the scene and offer a unique perspective. Degas was interested in the effects of light and color, and his studies of horses reflect his experimentation with techniques and compositions. He moved away from traditional static representations, seeking to convey the immediacy and spontaneity of the moment. His works capture fleeting moments, reflecting the modernity and fast pace of contemporary life. The study of a horse is significant for how it fuses detailed observation with innovative artistic expression. Degas' work has influenced modern art and continues to be appreciated for its originality and sensitivity. Through his approach, Degas invites us to see the world with new eyes, capturing the beauty in motion and the essence of the human experience. Number 3. Praying Hands. Albrecht Dürer. Praying Hands is one of Albrecht Dürer's most famous drawings, created around 1508. The drawing, made on blue paper with ink and white highlights, shows two hands joined in a prayerful position, represented with exceptional realism and detail. It is believed that this study was preparatory for the Heller altarpiece, a major work that was sadly destroyed in the 18th century. The hands likely belong to the apostle appearing in the central panel of the painting. Dürer pays meticulous attention to anatomy, showing veins, wrinkles, and skin textures that add depth and authenticity to the image. The praying hands reflect humility and devotion, and the drawing conveys a deep spirituality that transcends time and space. The use of blue paper and white highlights adds volume and drama, creating a contrast that emphasizes the form and gesture. This work has transcended its original context to become a universal symbol of faith and art. It reflects Dürer's mastery in drawing and his ability to infuse emotion and meaning into seemingly simple details. The praying hands continue to inspire artists and believers, reminding us of the power of art to connect with the deepest parts of the human spirit. Number 2. Study for the Sistine Chapel. Michelangelo. In addition to the previously mentioned studies, Michelangelo made numerous specific preparatory drawings for different sections of the Sistine Chapel ceiling. These studies for the Sistine Chapel include figures such as the Sibyls, prophets, and narrative scenes from Genesis, each with its own complexity and meaning. In these drawings, Michelangelo explores bold postures and the complex interactions between figures. His focus on anatomy is evident, with powerful muscles and forms that bring drama and energy. The studies also show how he planned the spatial arrangement and perspective to adapt to the ceiling's curvature and architectural space, creating an impressive visual experience. The drawings include notes and adjustments, evidencing the artist's iterative process. Michelangelo faced technical and physical challenges while working in the chapel, and these studies were essential for planning and executing his vision. His dedication and perseverance resulted in a work that combines biblical narrative, technical mastery, and a deep understanding of the human condition. The studies for the Sistine Chapel are artistic treasures that offer an intimate glimpse into Michelangelo's genius. They allow us to appreciate the magnitude of his achievement and understand how he combined technical skill, creativity, and spirituality to create a work that continues to inspire millions and stands as an enduring testament to the power of art. Number 1. Vitruvian Man. Leonardo da Vinci. Vitruvian Man, created around 1490, is one of Leonardo da Vinci's most emblematic drawings and a symbol of the Renaissance. This study depicts a male figure in two superimposed positions with arms and legs extended, inscribed in a circle and a square, illustrating the ideal proportions of the human body according to the descriptions of the Roman architect Vitruvius. Leonardo combines art and science in this work, exploring the relationship between human anatomy and mathematics. The drawing is accompanied by detailed notes written in reverse, typical of Leonardo, where he analyzes proportions and how the human body can be a measure of all things. His interest in symmetry and harmony reflects the humanist thought of the Renaissance, which sought to understand the universe through the study of man. Vitruvian Man reflects the Renaissance's interest in harmony, proportion, and the pursuit of knowledge. It shows how man is seen as a microcosm of the universe, connecting the physical with the spiritual and the scientific. The figure represents ideal perfection and beauty, fusing disciplines such as anatomy, geometry, and philosophy. This work has transcended its original context to become a cultural icon, representing innovation, curiosity, and human ingenuity. It is a perfect manifestation of Leonardo da Vinci's genius and his ability to fuse disciplines into a harmonious synthesis. Vitruvian Man continues to inspire artists, scientists, and thinkers, reminding us of the infinite capacity of the human being to explore and understand the world around us. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Give it a like, comment your thoughts, and share this video with your friends and family.